You're listening to Tech Tuesday from AllSides with Amy Jurevich, a show where we share stories about science, technology, and the future of our environment. A new Ohio investment is creating opportunities for rural students to access career-oriented tech education. This funding from the state is allowing TechCore to provide its services to Teays Valley schools. TechCore is a non-profit program that provides engaging technology lessons for K-12 students. And joining us now is TechCore CEO, Lisa Chambers. Welcome back to AllSides, Lisa.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And also joining us is the Director of Teaching and Learning at Teays Valley School District, Beth Keplar. Welcome to AllSides, Beth.
Thanks. Great to be here.
So, Lisa, rural areas have historically lacked funding and the technology to do certain things. Can you tell us what is this career-oriented tech education that you're able to bring to Teays Valley?
Well, thanks again for allowing us to be here and talk about a program that I'm so excited about. We have wanted for a number of years to work with schools in more rural communities, but the way our funding was structured, we really were focused on our large urban areas, but we knew that there was a need there was an interest there, and so we were so grateful to the state for making this investment, which is allowing us to expand our student tech core, our registered pre-apprenticeship program, to high schools in small and rural communities around the state of Ohio. So Teays Valley is getting us started, but the hope is that we will continue to grow this program and be able to reach more students.
And Beth, did Teays Valley reach out to TechCore, or did TechCore find you?
We reached out to TechCore. We've got a history of working with them over time. So when we saw this opportunity out there, it felt like it would be a great partnership.
So Beth, what is TechCore bringing to the table that you did not have the capacity to do or the money to do before?
Well, TechCore just has those relationships, well connected with industry. When you're a school district in a rural area, it's really hard to stay on top of industry needs, making sure that curriculum writing courses that you're offering are aligned. And TechCore has always done such a great job of being on top of those things. And then I always call them just a great translator. So, they can help schools, especially, smaller schools in rural areas. This is where it's just so helpful for them to be able to bring their level of knowledge to us, to those classroom teachers, so that we can develop these programs for students.
All right, so Lisa, tell us about the program that's actually happening in Teays Valley. So what are the students learning? What are they doing?
Sure. So a student tech core kind of puts students in almost like a simulated work environment. So they are moving through curriculum that's focused around tech support. So learning about everything from building computers, supporting computers, networks, databases, all of that. And there's also a strong durable skills component. So all those skills that employers are saying are important for students to have. So we provide the curriculum and the support. So we've trained a teacher in Teays Valley who was running this as a class with a group of students for a number of different periods. Those students move through the curriculum and the labs, and then they also go through a testing and certification process. So they have an opportunity to earn a registered pre-apprenticeship certificate, the Ohio Means Jobs Readiness Seal, work-based learning hours, and then finally an industry-recognized credential. So it brings with it a lot of different components, and all of these things now in the state of Ohio also help students meet graduation requirements.
And Beth, are we talking high school students for you? Is this who's doing it? Okay. And are we talking about what Lisa just outlined? Is that happening during the school day, or is this extracurricular?
No, it's happening during the school day.
Okay.
So we have one school period set aside.
And yeah, do students sign up to be in that class, or is everyone in a certain grade level doing it?
No, students definitely elect to take the class. We go through it's this time of year as we're getting ready even for next school year, marketing that, making sure our students see the alignment to workforce, the demand that's there. So yes, we definitely recruit students into the program, but as Lisa said, we have several periods first semester that we ran the course, and then a second cohort of students came in and started when school resumed second semester.
Okay. And Lisa, what are we talking here? Are they learning to do coding, AI, something else? Give me an example of what they're learning.
So this particular program that they're doing is focused on tech support. So basically they're learning how to run a tech support operation. So much well like what might happen here or any other business.
So they can fix my laptop?
They totally
Okay.
could fix your laptop and
Got it.
probably a number of other things too. So the way that this can be really unique, Amy, in some of our small rural districts is they may have had the funding to purchase a lot of equipment, but didn't have that same funding to hire that staff to support that equipment. For schools, this can become a real resource for them in empowering. So if you think back to maybe, I don't know if you're old enough to remember like the AV Club.
I remember an AV
right?
Club, yes.
So this is like the high-tech AV Club, right? So we have students in our schools who are on the ground providing real support. They might be going, one of the schools, districts that we're in, the high school is across the street from the elementary school. The high school students are going across the street and helping the elementary school teachers get their technology set up. So again.
Oh, I know a lot of elementary school teachers who have to spend a whole day with Chromebooks and passwords with little kids. That would help.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it provides real skills, right, for our young people. So they're getting to see how what they've learned in the class applies to the real world and how it's applicable. And they're starting to build their resume, their work portfolio in high school.
And Beth, you mentioned having a dedicated teacher, a dedicated class period to this. Were you able to hire someone new, or was it a teacher you already had and he or she learned more new things?
Yes, it was a teacher we already had, but we really stepped back looking at some of the courses they were teaching, and that was another reason I reached out to TechCore. We wanted students to be able to leave with truly building a resume, getting in a true pre-apprenticeship, getting in some of those credentials. And so we just took a course and we reimagined it in a way to make it even better.
So it's kind of like if the course had been around for a long time, it was more like an AV club and you kind of moved it into 2026.
Yes, that's exactly what we did.
Got it. And how many do you have a number? How many students are taking it or completed it?
I think in the first semester we had around 60. And then this semester it's about, I think, one full section. So I think 30. So.
This is All Sides on 89.7 NPR News. We're talking about technology education with TechCore CEO Lisa Chambers and the Director of Teaching and Learning at Teays Valley School District, Beth Keplar. So, Lisa, do you see the tech focus changing and expanding all the time? Like when you set up this curriculum, do you need to go into Teays Valley every year and change it, or is it pretty malleable, I guess is where, yeah.
I mean, with all of our TechCore programs, we're constantly looking at our curriculum and making updates. So Student TechCore now has 3 versions. So the tech support is one of the versions. We have another that's focused on web development, and this year we'll be rolling out one on AI. So as an organization, we're in constant spin in terms of our curriculum. And I think the thing that's exciting is that as a nonprofit in this space, we can move quickly in making those changes around curriculum and then bring that into schools as a partner and as a supporter.
Now, it was $100,000 investment from the state that made this possible for you to expand from your urban school districts to rural school districts. Is that one-time money or is it forever money?
Well, we should hope that it's forever. But that's a 2-year. It's $100,000 a year for 2 years. So we're in the state budget. So, and with that, our goal to reach 200 students. So we're getting started with Teays Valley. We also are working in Sheridan as well, and we'll be adding new school districts in this next school year.
Okay, so 200 students. So Beth just mentioned, I think she said 60 plus 30. So
we'll probably be over.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like,
Teays Valley is awesome. And we're going to go, I mean, again, I think our long-term goal for TechCore in the next 5 years is we really want to get to 5,000 students in small and rural communities across the state of Ohio. So that's going to take more than the state investment, but we hope that this is going to be a great way of showing what's possible, that there is a need, and that we've got students that can achieve incredible things with this.
Did the money in the state budget come with any strings attached? Do you have to work with certain rural areas, or did you get to pick?
We're getting to pick. Again, the focus was just small schools that are designated by the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce as either small or rural.
Okay. Beth, tell me some things that you've seen in the students. What have they learned? What are they gaining?
Well, just seeing that this work is relevant and that it has meaning. So when you can connect, there's a huge demand for skilled IT in the workforce. And, this program, the curriculum, the tasks they're doing help students see that relevancy. And so they're thinking about ways, even if they're not considering a career in IT, they're really seeing how this work, this troubleshooting that, Lisa's talking about, it applies across many different sectors and industries.
Do they tell stories about going home and being able to fix their parents' computer or help their younger sibling? Yeah.
I'm sure they're pulled into that work a lot more now, given their skill set they've gotten through this course.
Tell me what it means to them if they are interested in a tech career, or even if they don't know what they want to be when they grow up because they're still young. What does it mean to have these certificates? Do they understand that it is a good thing for their resume, even if they're young and don't have a resume?
Absolutely. And that was one of the things last spring when I reached out. It was actually early June. We had some IT courses here. And like I mentioned, they just really need refreshed, updated, etc. But we had a few graduates that came back to us and said, look, I'm going out there, I'm trying to build my resume, but, I don't know what to add to this, et cetera. And I reached out to Lisa at that time. And so we've really been able to share, some of our students are aware of some of our alumni, they know of their interests, and now being able to share, look, we've put these things in place, working with TechCore so that you can build your resume, so that these, credentials can help you. And they're really seeing that and appreciate that.
Lisa, talk to me about going into talking to a teacher, like a teacher at a school district who has had a class that they've been teaching in a certain way for a certain number of years. Do you ever have to lean on them a little bit to be like, let's change this and here's how?
Really, we haven't. I think, and you can hear it in Beth, is that I think our schools are open and ready to try new things. I think when they can find a partner that meets them, our curriculum design team is a blended group of computer scientists and teachers. So they know what it's like to be in the classroom, and they're really intentional about how they build our curriculum, how they build the supports for the teacher that we work with. And it's not we're not in and out. We really are a partner for the long term. We also are really focused on not just building a one-size-fits-all, but really working closely with our schools to figure out what their situation is, what we can bring in, and then how we can customize it to meet their needs. So far we haven't had to drag anyone to the water. I think that schools know that these are skills that kids need. And as Beth said, regardless if they, grow up and decide to become, data engineers or software developers, these are skills now that kids just need, that folks just need to operate in our society. And we need to do a better job of just making sure that these skills are accessible to all.
Did your TechCore trainer go to Teays Valley, or did the teacher come to you for learning?
You know what? Eventually we will bring all of our teachers together. So because we're still starting small, our vision is that eventually we bring all the teachers together in the summer. They go through their training and then go into their school year with that support. It also helps them to build community with teachers from other districts. So again, my vision is that we have several schools in this upcoming school year that are participating, and that we're really starting to build a community of practice around this. So those teachers not only are receiving support from TechCore, but they're also building community with other teachers in other districts who are running this program so they can learn from them.
Talk to me about this AI course you're developing, because AI is changing by the day. And different school districts, I think the state of Ohio is requiring them to have some sort of AI policy by a certain date or whatever, but you have to adapt to that by the minute. How are you developing an AI course for students in this world?
Well, I'm excited to say, so TechCore built its own AI policy and also a position statement around what we believe about AI and how it should be integrated into the teaching and learning process, what that means for students and what that means for educators. So certainly we've been aware of the AI policy, and I was really happy when we kind of lined what the policy said and what our position statement said. There was a lot of alignment. So that means for us that we're headed in the right direction in terms of the way that we're thinking about this. And, the AI pre-apprenticeship program, I can't tell you a whole lot about it because I don't want to start talking about things that I don't know enough about for my team.
It's not ready yet.
Let me bring someone else in here. But I will tell you that it is in alignment with how we think about our programs across the board, in that we're moving kids and we want kids to understand these tools, understand the way they work, understand the way that they engage with them, and to become creators and designers around using these tools. And that will be the same as we think about the work that we'll do with AI, both for our students, but we're also building some professional development for educators in the same space.
And Beth, at Teays Valley, do you see this this curriculum that you're doing? And I know it's new; it hasn't even been around for a full year yet. But can Teays Valley continue to do it? I don't know if TechCore will stay with you forever, but can you keep it going?
Absolutely, right. We put the whole program together with sustainability in mind. And again, it's that general idea that IT is everywhere. Mm-hmm. So, rural communities, if you haven't been inside a tractor during spring or fall, you don't realize, the amount of sensors, the amount of iPads, the amount of data they're collecting, GPS guided steering systems, etc. It's relevant, and it's going to remain relevant. So, it's definitely important to us to sustain this program long term.
Did you have money at Teays Valley to, I don't know if you needed to buy new computers, new iPads, did you need new tech to do this better?
No, what for us, it was the teacher, and most schools have to kind of step back. And that's where I think the support that TechCore provides, it's just invaluable because, you can step back, you can take a classroom teacher that has the desire, but maybe doesn't have the skill set. It doesn't take a ton of money to implement. And usually schools have, most of the equipment to do this, you likely have. It's really about the curriculum and how you approach that equipment. So,
can I jump in on that too? And I would just say that we were very intentional about building a program that didn't require a lot of investment because we want schools to be able to maintain. We didn't. So when the design team is thinking about the curriculum or the program we're building for everyone, those are the things that they're considering, right? And so even with this program, the students are doing, instead of having to have actual equipment, the students are doing a lot of simulated builds and labs. So they're still learning the skills, they're still learning how the pieces go, but instead of having maybe a physical computer sitting in front of them, they're able to do these labs online and take advantage of the learning that way.
We have been talking about some state money that's being used by TechCore to bring their program to rural school districts. And we've been talking with TechCore CEO Lisa Chambers. Thanks for being here today, Lisa.
Thank you.
And we've also been talking with the Director of Teaching and Learning at Teays Valley School District, Beth Keplar. Beth, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.